Hello, I'm Krista Gibson with 3 or Under, where I share bite-sized pieces of wisdom with you. Today, I would like to mention something that you may or may not have already done, and that is write your life story. And what I mean by that doesn't necessarily mean you have to physically write it out. You could record it on some kind of a recorder. But it's really important that somehow you capture your life. And what I mean by that is look at everything you've learned, all the things you've been through. Now, this is particularly important for people who have children and grandchildren. You know, I asked my parents were enigmas to me, especially my father, very secretive about his past. In fact, he led me to believe that his mother was dead, and I found out she was alive until I was 30. I asked my parents, I said, please tell your life story. Then it was a cassette recorder that I mentioned to them. And I said, if you don't want to write it down, put it on a cassette and I won't listen to it until you've passed over. And I have so many questions about their lives. And yet I know they were both really wise people. And I'd like to know where they got all that wisdom. So for you, to be able to share your life and your stories, not only with your children and grandchildren, that's very important, but also with the rest of us. You know, what have you learned? How did you learn it? And write your story, not with the idea of publishing it, although if you want to, with Amazon now, anybody can publish a book, and they print them one at a time. I did mine that way, and mine's available on Amazon because people had questions about my life and how I made some of my decisions. But it's more for you, first of all, because when you go through the process of writing about your life story, you get to relive it and from today's viewpoint. And so you can look back on your life with the wisdom that you have now, and it is so healing and enlightening because you learn more about who you are. So even more than sharing who you are with other people, which I think is important, you learn to share yourself with yourself and become clear on who you are. So that's my tip this week, is consider writing or recording or videoing your life story. Then you can decide, do you want to share it, publish it? Don't let anybody know about it till after you pass on, however that feels for you. But go through the process of doing it and see if it isn't a really enlightening and healing process for you. Talk to you next week.